Hello there, Guardians, Ghosts, and Gamers. This is Hako, your artist poet on PlayStation 4, playing Destiny 2, like the title says. It's kind of my live stream thing I do more or less daily now, and I try to talk about things that are relevant to the game, that are may or may not have been covered by other streamers or channel creators. Um, but yeah, it's my hot takes on things, and as this series that I'm running here is how to have fun in playing Destiny 2, because it's important. You need to have fun doing these things, and I'm not actually even sure if my audio is coming through very good or not. I'm going to do some adjustments real quick here, just so that you guys can hear me better over the game. So the first thing you've noticed is figure out what it is you want out of the game. Figure out what it is you like doing in the game. And Destiny is a first-person shooter. I've been saying this for years, since Destiny 2 came out. And the funny thing is that Bungie has recently done some TWAB updates, has done some sandboxing updates that are going to do more than. They're going to focus more on that. They're going to focus more on the gunplay, with our character abilities being sort of a subset, like they're supposed to be. So you'll be focused more on actually shooting things than relying on special class abilities like rifts or bubbles or whatever. Um, Meaning, hunters. Don't get too much out there that's actually all that important anymore. Although the vanishing smoke grenades, they are pretty good. If your fire team is nearby when you drop those, they do get a buff on them, which I think is kind of neat. It's like a rolling buff. That's what's um, hunters are more of the mobile support character, whereas the Titans and the Warlocks are more static with their rifts and their barricades and bubbles. Um, and that's good when you're holding and defending, but there are so few strikes anymore that actually are hold and defend. You need to move around, or the AI is going to find you and basically bomb the shit out of your. To the point here, how to have fun in Destiny. The key is to figure out what it is in the game you like doing, and just do that. Don't get sucked in to all the extra stuff. Don't get sucked into, if you're not into chasing titles. Like, I mean, I have a title for my character. Is it under collections or is it under triumphs? I think it's under triumphs. Yeah, I unlocked the Dredgen title, and I did it more or less by accident. Let's see, like these guys, I haven't even noticed I'd finished all that. Um, I like playing Gambit. I liked playing Gambit as when it came to the game. It was kind of like my substitute for Prison of Elders. You got to play against variable enemies, and you got to you know uh, do a bunch of fun stuff. And yeah, so then one afternoon I happened to be looking through the triumphs because I saw everything was blinking. I was like, oh shit, I'm like one activity away from actually just getting Dredgen. Well, let's just do it. And that's I think that's probably what you can think about. You can use as a tool to figure it out, because I know that's going to be the question: is, well, how do I know what I want? I'm going to share a little bit of wisdom with you. The infant cries because it wants. It doesn't know that it wants. It doesn't know what it wants. It just knows that it does want. Um, we as cognitive adults, will say, well, the infant's crying because it's hungry, or its diaper's full, or it's lonely, or it's afraid of something. Basically, it's fear. It's basically fear. So, how do you determine what it is you like to do in the game? Take a look at your triumphs. Take a look at your collections. Especially if you've only just started playing the game. The things that are progressing the most for you are probably the things you're playing the most. And in that respect, you kind of want to just, maybe think about, well, try out some of the other stuff. Um, but if you don't have fun with it, if it's something that you walk away from and not think about the next time you can play again, it's probably not something you're gonna want to do outside of grinding. And I really discourage players from grinding anything. Grinding is chores. Grinding is work. Grinding is not meant to be fun. That's why we call it grinding. You're just literally grinding shit down to get to a certain point. You should be thinking about your gameplay in terms of binging and farming. Farming is like, you're repeating an activity because you're investing, okay? Farming is basically investing. You're investing time, you're investing, resources into, getting back something that's going to be a good return on that investment. Um, the investment is time. The return should always be fun. And if you're not getting fun back, regardless of what loot you're acquiring or what skill levels or character abilities you're unlocking, if you're not getting fun back, that's not a full return. That's a partial return. That's still a deficit. And you don't want to play on a deficit because then the game is no longer fun. It's just a task. It's a chore. Now, I'm not a professional streamer. I'm not a professional YouTube creator. Um, I get the little creator newsletters like everybody who does anything like this on YouTube does, but I don't even look at them. I just, whatever. I don't even know how many times my videos have been watched or how many likes I might have. I think my son is the only one who ever checks out my broadcasts, which thank you very much for doing that. But the point being is that when you are investing in an activity in the game, you want to have a return. That return should always be fun. When you leave the game, when you leave an activity, and all you can think about is, "Ooh, I can't wait to get back in to do this again," then that's something you probably want to continue doing because you're having fun with it. Because fun can be defined with missing the activity or the encounter when it's not there. Hopefully, you experience that feeling of longing and missing with a person in your life or people in your life. You should wake up every day looking forward to spending time with them or doing the things that entertain you and grow you as a human being, because that is the thing. I mean, humans are always growing. We as people are always growing, and I say people because yeah, at the core we're all just animals and that kind of stuff, and we have biological basic needs, and pretty much everything we do can be driven down to just the one true biological desire, which is to pass on our genetic codes and all that, blah 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 blah. I say people because people have an interest in persistence, something that's going to be there when they're not. And that goes beyond just the passing on of genes and stuff. You want to have a record of your efforts. You want to have a record of your achievements. You want to know that at some point or time, uh, in some space and time, you mattered when what you did affected positively, hopefully, someone nearby. And that is what social gaming is all about. So Destiny is a shared world, first person shooter looter. There's a power fantasy in the game, and you hear the devs talk about it all the time. And that power fantasy is that you're either a crack shot, or you're super durable, or you're super um, and you want to be able to let others know that that's kind of something that drives some people to do what they do. I mean, I stream these little bits of conversation because I want someone to know that, hey, this is what I'm thinking. And if you happen to be thinking the same thing, you're not alone. I'm letting you know that this is something that I want you to be aware that hey, it's okay to have these thoughts. It doesn't mean you're a filthy casual. It doesn't mean that you're not interested in playing the game. You're playing the game your way. You're enjoying the content the way you want to enjoy it. It's kind of like if somebody says, "Hey, you want a hamburger?" You go, "Oh yeah, I want a hamburger." And then they don't even ask you what you want on it. They just hand you the hamburger, and you're like, "Well, can I not have pickles, or maybe can I have a little bit of extra lettuce, or hey, can I swap out this American cheese for some Gouda?" Um, or can I have onions, or can I have grilled onions and stuff like that? Um, and it's like, but that's how Burger King's claim to fame was, is that having it your way. And then of course there was the playground parrot. Hold the lettuce, hold it, hold the lettuce, hold the pickles, hold the lettuce. Shut up, lady, you upset us. Now you've made us mess up. We have to throw it away. Race rifles, linear fusions, and scout rifles. Okay. Did I equip a trace rifle for me today? No. Okay, fine. I'm gonna have to pull that through with the app. Give me a second. So yeah, so figuring out what you want out of the game. That's figuring out what you play the most in the game. That's easy. Look at your triumphs. Look at your collections. Out there that's like that, and it'll tell you exactly where you spend your most time playing. Um, and then and then detach yourself from that leaderboard. That's the one key. Until you figure out if it's something you really want to do, if you feel like you're having a good time playing this, you're enjoying yourself, the leaderboard is going to happen when it happens. Don't get hung up on the, like I said, don't get hung up on the trophies, the emblems, the titles, the stats or anything like that, the post game stats. Not the in game stats, because mobility 79 is pretty damn weak for my character. Tracer rifle arc. We're going to use the cold heart. That's a good choice. And try not to focus on that, because if you're focusing too much on your stats, on your trophies, titles, and emblems, unless that truly is something that you want to do, and you have fun on the way there. And having fun along the way is really all about the company you keep, and that's not necessarily the person standing next to you in the fire team space. That's you. The company you keep is you. It starts with you. You have to be comfortable with what it is you're thinking and feeling and doing while you're on your path to get that triumph of Unbroken or Dredged In or whatever it is. Or Flawless. I don't know what all the titles are. I know I've seen a lot of Unbroken and I think Flawless in PvP. I do play a lot of PvP. I'm not like a lot, but I'll get in it and I'll binge a good 5 or 6 rounds in Controller Clash when it's on. Um, Mayhem is fun if you just want to do a quick slam bounty run with Shax, but yeah, it's all cool. But yeah, that's kind of really what I wanted to share on that particular point. So you're kind of watching what I find to be fun in the game, and what I find to be fun in the game is farming through Banshee's gunsmith bounties, because I'm getting enhancement cores. I'm taking out my frustration on the Scorn, because when I face them in Gambit, they almost always dominate me. So I'm practicing tactics and techniques against their engine, and it's kind of it's a good way. Running through this lost sector is a good way to blast off some steam. That's another reason why some people play games, is because it's not just to escape the stress and pressures of the day to day, but maybe they're really angry about something, or they're frustrated about something, and so they come into a game space that they know they have some measure of control. They have some measure of they have a valid say in what's happening, and that's a good thing too, because if you can vent out that frustrating customer um, on a lost sector full of Scorn, then that's a lot better than carrying that load throughout your day and then accidentally, or sometimes deliberately, dumping it on someone who's very much unaware of what's happening. But anyway, so key points, just to recap before I cut out of here. If you're curious about what it is that drives you in this game, what are you most interested in playing? What do you have the most fun playing? First question is, when you're done with the activity, do you feel like you want to play it again, and just because you just want to play it again? Not because if you want to play it again because you need to get that weapon out of that raid, that's grinding, and you probably want to step back and not do that. But if you want to do it again because you had a lot of fun and everybody's like, yeah, let's do it again, that was a hell of a lot of fun, then that could be farming, and that could also be binging, and then that's a good thing. The other thing you could do is, on the mechanical side, is just take a look at your triumphs and trophies and achievements and see what it is you're collecting. Another thing to look at when you're thinking about, well, what's a good gun for me to play with? What guns do I like? What kind of armor do I like? That's again, you can judge that by taking a look at what your collections are, what your vault space looks like, What is it you always have equipped on your characters? What do you fall back on when you try out something new and it doesn't seem to be working? That kind of thing. And then again, just explore the content. I mean, like I said, I spent the last 3 years trying raids, trying trials, trying master nightfalls, and I even did a legendary lost sector or two. And I don't really have fun doing them. They're not the investment that I want to put out. And for the return that I get is very, very random. It's very inconsistent and it's not always very satisfying. I spent this week plowing through Iron Banner, and I don't think I got anything but a gauntlet with a little slightly better stats, and I'm still not sure if I like it enough because, like I said, that mobility is really low. But the strength is right up there. So if I'm playing like a knife juggler, then having that strength is going to be fun. But I'm really trying to focus more on my ranged skills than I am on my melee skills, because again, Destiny is a first-person shared world shooter looter. So trying to stay to that design aesthetic is my challenge, because that's the other thing too. So a lot of times the way you play is also going to be what you like to challenge yourself with. So that's where you step out of your routine, so to speak, or your binge playing, and you challenge yourself to try something different. And then you might discover, hey, this is really good. And be aware of the fact that if you're playing, with actual fire team, or if you're randoing into the event, uh, be conscious of the fact that, well, was this fun because of who I was playing with, or was this fun because it's just mechanically designed to be fun? And that's about all I'm going to share right now. So thanks for stopping by.